Welcome to Legion Builds, where I show you how to bring your favorite characters into Dungeons & Dragons. Today we are building OCP Crime Prevention Unit 001, or more commonly known as Robocop. Once known as Alex Murphy, he was horribly struck down by a violent sadistic gang and reborn as a cybernetic hero. Today's goal is to create a heavily armored robot warrior who's devoted to upholding the law and order. Next, we need to give you some awesome weapons and gear. That means guns, enhanced vision, surveillance gear, and a jetpack. Listen, I know Robocop 3 sucked for multiple reasons. It's a film that made a lot of questionable choices, but the jetpack is pretty cool. Finally, because I think it would be cool, we're giving you your own Ed 209. We're using standard point array because I don't want to roll for you. Actually, it's because using standard point array makes it easier for you to convert to your stat system, but I still don't want to roll for you. We are multi-classing, so keep minimums in mind. Starting things off with strength at 15. You are one person who no one wants to get into a physical fight with. Con will follow at 14. Your machine body is capable of taking near limitless damage. Charisma will be next at 13. You'd rather not end someone's life to enforce the law, so you need to have some strength to your authority. Intelligence will be a 12. You are a machine, and that comes with high intelligence. Wisdom will be low with 10, but your sheer weight means we have to dump dex. As I've already stated, you may have started life out as a human known as Alex Murphy, but you are no longer organic. Warforged are the D&D answer for androids. You receive a +2 to con and a +1 to strength. Constructed resilience grants you several abilities. You have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. You are resistant to poison damage. You do not eat, drink, or breathe. You are immune to diseases, and you can't be put to sleep, and you do not sleep. Sentry's Rest makes your long rest 6 hours where you are motionless but fully conscious. Integrated Protection improves your defenses by making your armor part of your body. Your AC is now +1, and your armor cannot be removed by anyone but you. You can only don armor you're proficient in, and bonding takes 1 hour. Specialized Design grants you a free skill and tool proficiency of your choice. Grab Perception, whatever tool you want. For your background, grab the skills Investigation and Intimidation. We're going to start things off with a class that specializes in law enforcement, Paladin. Grab the skills Athletics and whatever other one you want. Level 1 Paladins start things off with Divine Sense. You can now scan the area within 60 feet of you and detect creatures that are celestial, fiend, or undead. You can also detect sacred or unholy items. You can scan a number of times equal to your Charisma modifier +1 between long rests. Lay on Hands lets you repair yourself or others by granting you a pool of healing equal to 5 times your Paladin level. You can expand a number of points to heal 1 HP per point. You can also spend 5 points altogether to end disease or poison effects on someone. Level 2 Paladins gain a fighting style. Dueling adds +2 to a weapon's damage when holding it with one hand and holding no other weapon in your offhand. Now this will be your arm spike. Oh yeah, you'll be getting your arm spike, but you can make this arm spike a long sword if you want when we fuse it to your arm. Don't worry, it's happening. Divine Smite lets you burn spell slots to add 2d8 radiant damage. This starts off at first level spell slots, and you can add a d8 per spell slot higher than first level with a max of 5d8. If you use Divine Smite against an undead or fiend, you will increase the damage by 1d8 to a maximum of 6d8. Oh yeah, you're also a spellcaster, which is where you get your spell slots from. Well, actually you're a half caster, but that will be more relevant later. You can choose what spells you have each day equal to your Charisma modifier plus half your Paladin level. You can have 2 spells at this level, so choose what you want. They're not really too important. The other caster you're getting, those are important. Level 3 Paladins receive their subclass. Oath of Crown works great for you. Channel Divinity grants you 2 new abilities. You can only use Channel Divinity once per short or long rest. Champion Challenge turns your Channel Divinity into a bonus action that allows you to issue a challenge to other creatures to fight you. Each creature of your choice you can see within 30 feet of you must make a Wisdom save. On a failed save, the creature can't willingly move away from you. If the creature does move more than 30 feet away from you, you are incapacitated or you die, the effect ends. Turn the Tide is another Channel Divinity Divinity. This is a bonus action to bolster your allies. Each creature that can hear you within 30 feet of you regains 1d6 plus your charisma modifier in HP, but only if it has no more than half of its HP. Harness Divine Power lets you use Channel Divinity to regain one expended spell slot as a bonus action. You also have oath spells that you always have prepared and do not count towards your total prepared spells. Command lets you speak a single word to a creature you can see within 60 feet of you, forcing a wisdom save and following the command should they fail on their next turn. I would suggest the word freeze. There is a list of commands that you can use with this spell, but you can just say a word and hope it works. That being said, if they can't follow the command, the spell fails. Compel Duel forces a creature that you can see within 30 feet of you to make a wisdom save. On a failure, the creature is compelled to fight you, having disadvantage on attacks against anyone except you, while you maintain the spell for 1 minute. Level 4 Paladins earn our first ability score improvement. Place +2 into intelligence as we'll be needing it soon. Level 5 Paladins gain extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single action. You also receive new oath spells. Warding Bond connects you to another willing creature. For 1 hour, while the creature is within 60 feet of you, they gain +1 to their AC and their saving throws, and has resistance to all damage. Should they take damage, you also take damage. The spell ends if you drop to 0 HP or you are more than 60 feet apart. Zone of Truth creates a 15-foot radius sphere where anyone inside the sphere must make a charisma save. Should they fail, they cannot lie. They know about the spell and you know if it is affecting them. They can avoid answering if they want, but anything they say must be truthful. Okay, we got you law enforcement abilities, now it's time to gain all the cool stuff. Level 1 Artificers have magical tinkering. You can imbue tiny non-magical items with magical effects, such as light, sound, smells, or a static image. You can do this to a number of objects equal to your intelligence modifier. You're also a spellcaster, but actually another half-caster. We're multi-classing spellcasters, so head on over to page 164 of the player's handbook to determine spell slots. Since both Artificer and Paladin are half-casters, you're only going to be using half the levels of each to determine your total slots. Like Paladin, Artificer can prepare a certain number of spells each day equal to half your Artificer level plus intelligence modifier. Now, while we didn't really grab a lot of Paladin spells, we are going to be grabbing some Artificer spells. Starting out, we'll be grabbing 2 cantrips and 3 first level spells. For these, Firebolt fires a blast at 120 feet, dealing 2d10 fire damage. This is not your pistol. This is your missile launcher that can replace your fist. Told you that film had a lot of questionable choices. Light lets you imbue an object with light that you touch. Basically, you make it a flashlight. Detect Magic allows you to scan up to 30 feet and register magical auroras around you for 10 minutes while you concentrate. You can tell what school of magic the aurora is, but you can't tell the actual spell. Identify pairs very nicely with this, as you can now touch one magic item or area that is being affected by a spell and learn what the magic item is or the spell affecting the area. If it is a magic item, you learn all the properties on how to use said magic item. Cure Wounds lets you help your friends by healing them 1d8 plus your intelligence modifier. We don't need a repeat of the third movie. Level 2 Artificers can now infuse items. You can now create magical items by simply touching non-magical items. Now you will always know more infusions than you can actually have, and if you go over the number you have, the oldest infusion stops. I'm only going to tell you the ones you need for this build, so feel free to choose the others. Right now you know 4 but can only have 2. Enhanced Defense adds +1 to your armor. This stacks with your bonus, giving you a +2 to your AC. Replicate Magic Item grants you a list of items you can create, and it's time to get your arm spike. Arm Blade is a common magic item for Warforged found in the Eberron campaign setting. Placing a one-handed weapon against your arm, the blade becomes part of you once it attunes. With a bonus action, you can extend or retract the blade inside your arm. Now in the movies, I would say this is a dagger, but you can literally make any blade that is not two-handed your weapon. Short sword, long sword, rapier, battle axe, go nuts. Because it's stabbing, I'm going to say it's a rapier. Level 3 Artificers have the right tool for the job. This lets you create a magic tool you need by spending an hour magically creating it, and it's not super important. You also gain your subclass. Battlesmith will enhance your combat capabilities. First, you gain proficiency in Smith's tools. Battle Ready lets you use your intelligence modifier for attacks and damage. Battlesmith spells are spells you always have prepared and don't count towards your prepared spells. Shield adds +5 to your AC as a reaction. Heroism bolsters the courage of your allies, who may feel beaten down as a corporation steals their livelihood in hopes of creating a corporate-run city. While you maintain this spell for 1 minute, a willing creature you touch is immune to being frightened and gains temporary HP equal to your intelligence modifier. You also have a new robotic partner like Ed209, or maybe you turn Lewis into a robot, up to you. Steel Defender creates a metallic creature to fight alongside of you. The creature is a medium-sized construct that forms the shape you wish it to be. It has an AC of 15 dark vision, can repair itself 3 times a day, can't be surprised, and you can make it attack using your bonus action. It also has the ability called Deflect Attack. This allows the defender to impose disadvantage on an attack roll that it can see within 5 feet as its reaction, as long as the creature being attacked is not the Steel Defender. It will get some more things later on. In all honesty, if you don't want this, just don't take it. Battlesmith is great with or without the Steel Defender. As a DM, if a player says, I don't want a Steel Defender, I just want to take the class, I would be okay with no Steel Defender. Level 4 Artificers earn another ability score improvement. Let's raise intelligence once more. For your new spells, Featherfall stops all fall damage on up to 5 creatures within 60 feet of you, including yourself. Alarm creates a magical alarm that alerts you if anyone you do not designate crosses a 20-foot cube that you place anywhere within a mile of you. The alarm is silent or loud, you choose. Even if you're inactive, you will automatically be alerted when it goes off. Level 5 Artificers now have 2nd level spells, and you receive more Battlesmith spells. Branding Smite is a bonus action that you can maintain for 1 minute. The attack you hit with deals an extra 2d6 radiant damage, and now the target will glow bright light in a 5-foot radius. If the creature is invisible, they aren't anymore. You'll probably just drop this after hitting, or you just use this slot for 3d8 radiant smite damage. You also get Warding Bond, but you already got that from your Paladin level, so don't worry about it. Level 6 Artificers gain Tool Expertise. Now all tools you're proficient with are double the proficiency bonus. You can now have 3 infused items. Pick up Repeating Shot. This turns one ranged weapon, like a hand crossbow or a pistol, into a +1 weapon and no longer requires reloading. Congratulations, you now have your auto pistol. For your new spell, See Invisibility allows you to see invisible creatures for up to 1 hour, and you can see into the ethereal plane. Don't know when that will come in handy, but who knows. You're now character level 11, which means Firebolt now deals 3d10 fire damage on a hit. Level 7 Artificers receive Flash of Genius. You can now think quicker on your feet. When you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes a skill check, you can use your reaction to add your intelligence modifier. You can do this a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier per long rest. Level 8 Artificers gain another ability score improvement. Let's hit intelligence again. For your new spell, Aid amps up 3 allies by increasing their hit point maximum and current hit points by 5 for 8 hours. Dark Vision grants you night vision upgrades for 8 hours, out to a range of 60 feet. Level 9 Battlesmith Artificers now have Arcane Jolt. Now when you hit with a magic weapon or your Steel Defender hits, you can add 2d6 force damage or heal one creature within 30 feet of the target by 2d6. You can do this a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier between long rests. You now have 3rd level spells. For your new Battlesmith spells, Aura of Vitality is a concentration spell that allows you to heal everyone within a 30-foot radius of you, including you, by 2d6 with a bonus action. Now, so you know, this spell is an action, but you heal with a bonus action. Conjure Barrage lets your pistol really unload on some creeps. By firing a piece of non-magical ammunition, you fire a 60-foot cone, forcing a dex save on everyone within the cone. Should they fail, they take 3d8 force damage. Level 10 Artificers are now magic item adepts. You can now attune up to 4 magic items instead of 3, and creating magic items of common or uncommon rarity takes a quarter of the time and half the cost. You can also now have 8 infusions known. which means you can have 4 infusions active. Helm of Awareness gives you advantage on initiative, and you can't be surprised while you wear it, which is all the time since your armor is part of you. Speaking of armor, Enhanced Defense is now +2, meaning your AC is now +3 overall. For your new spell, it's Jetpack Time. Fly gives you a flying speed of 60 feet while you maintain this spell for 10 minutes. You also receive a new cantrip, Grab Mending. Now when you touch a broken object, you can repair it. You can also use this to heal your Steel Defender by 2d6 each time you cast it. Level 11 Artificers have Spell Storing Item. Now after you finish a long rest, you can touch one weapon or spell casting focus you can use and store a spell within it that has a casting time of 1 action. This can be any Artificer spell that is a 1st or 2nd level. You can give this item to an ally and now they can cast it using your spellcasting modifier and maintaining it themselves. Level 12 Artificers earn our final ability score improvement. Place this into Intelligence. For your new spells, Sanctuary protects the innocent from harm. For 1 minute, the creature you place this on is protected from attacks. Now when they are targeted, the hostile creature must make a Wisdom saving throw. Should they fail, they must now choose a new target or lose the attack. The spell ends should the protected creature attack, cast a spell that affects an enemy, or just deal damage. Jump enhances your leg motors and triples your jump distance for 1 minute. Your character level 17 now, which means Firebolt will do 4d10 fire damage on a hit. Level 13 Artificers receive 4th level spells. For your new spells from Battlesmith, Aura of Purity creates a 30-foot radius zone around you where everyone within it, including you, is bolstered against many things. Everyone within is now immune to diseases, has resistance against poison damage, and has advantage on conditions such as Blinded, Charmed, Deafened, Frightened, Paralyzed, Poisoned, and Stunned. This can be maintained for 10 minutes. Fire Shield covers you in harmless flames that shed light in a 10-foot radius, and you choose one of 2 effects. If you choose a Warm Shield, you now have resistance to cold damage and deal 2d8 fire damage when you are hit by a creature within 5 feet. If you choose a Cold Shield, you now have resistance to fire damage and deal 2d8 cold damage to a creature that hits you within 5 feet. Not really fitting for this build, but it's a good spell. Level 14 Artificers now have magic item Savant. You can now attune up to 5 magic items and can ignore all requirements for those magic items, such as race, class, spell, or level. You also gain 2 more infusions. Grabbing Replicate magic item again will be creating Belt of Hill Giant Strength. While you wear this belt, your strength is 21, which means your strength modifier is now a +6. For your final spell, Arcane Eye creates a surveillance device. You can create an invisible eye that hovers 30 feet in the air for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. With a bonus action, you can move the eye 30 feet in any direction and can see what it sees. You also gain your final cantrip, Go Wild. Our final level is level 15 Artificer, and Battlesmiths receive Improved Defender. Your Arcane Jolt damage and healing is now 4d6, and your Steel Defender now gains +2 to their AC, and when your Steel Defender uses its Deflect attack, the attacker takes 1d4 plus your Intelligence modifier in force damage. Now it's time to take a look at this build. First and foremost, you hit really hard. Using a rapier, you're dealing 1d8 +6 +2 damage. You can then add 4d6 force damage, and you can burn spell slots that can add more damage, ranging from 2d8 to 5d8 radiant damage. Even without Arcane Jolt and Divine Smite, your normal attacks are magical and hitting pretty hard. Your range capabilities are scary too. Your missile launcher is dealing 4d10 fire damage on a hit. Your pistol is rapid fire, magical, and ignores reloading properties. You can also use it to go full auto and deal 3d8 force damage. Your AC is amazing. Taking the quick build route, your AC with chainmail is 19. You get your hands on plate armor and it's an AC of 21. You can add +5 with a reaction, gain fire or cold resistance, and it can never be removed. Your armor also grants you advantage on initiative and you can never be surprised. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Any item you infuse becomes a spell casting focus, like your armor. Finally, your fellow officers will always rally to you and fight evil. You can heal them multiple ways using spells, channel divinity, or even lay on hands. You can grant them temporary HP, increase their HP maximum, give them advantage against status effects, shield them multiple ways, and more. Downside. Firstly, you are a heavy bastard. Your dex is a -1 and you're not really stealthy. You also have a lot of concentration spells, but you may get Divine Smite happy, so you could end up burning all those spell slots. Also, well actually, no also, that's it. All your stats, save for dex, are good. You only deal magical damage, you're beating resistances, and you just generally have all the abilities that make you the MVP of the party. March into battle, leading your friends through danger, and bring justice to those who wish to profit from others' suffering. If heroes are what you're looking for, check out all my heroic characters such as Trevor Belmont, Tron, Batman, and more. Don't forget to like and subscribe to never miss a new build, and check out my Patreon to help decide the next character to bring into D&D.